Welcome folks to Deep River Farm. I appreciate y'all joining us today. I wanted to show you, look at all this equipment that's sitting here that they're working on. The road, this is leading from Lake Lure up to Chimney Rock. We're headed that way. Wanted to show you just exactly what the power of this river has done through this area. As we get up in here, you're going to see, now the river before this happened, before Helene, was about the width of the road that we're riding on. But as we get up in here, you're going to see just how wide the river got, just how deep it got, because it ripped out all of the dirt, all the soil, and left nothing but barren rock through the area. And at one point, there was houses and businesses standing all up and down through here that is no longer there. The rivers are still full of debris. There's a lot of metal, there's guardrails, sheet metal, car parts, cars, pretty much you name it, and it's in that river still. They've been working desperately to get it out, but as you can tell, once we get up in here a good bit, that it's very difficult to even get a piece of equipment out into that area just to retrieve something that's big and heavy. They can't get the dozers or the track hose over the rock to get into the river to get stuff out. That is a big challenge in cleaning up the area. Now you're going to see a lot of debris piled up on the sides of the road, and that's where they've been able to get it moved to and get it ready for pickup. You're going to see here on the right, you're going to see where some of the earth gave way during all the rain. There was over 34 inches of rain fell through this area in a 3-day period. So that was quite a bit of water that was forced its way down through these ravines. The force of the water, part of it would have went to the Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America, let's put it that way, back to the Gulf of America, or it would have went to the Atlantic Ocean, depending on what side of the continental divide it fell on. Now, you're seeing a lot of new pavement. These are the roads and things that was built. If you remember early on, they said it was going to be months to get a road built from Bat Cave down to Chimney Rock. And some fellows from West Virginia with some rock quarry equipment came in and had that thing built in just a few weeks. And that's a big hats off to those folks that was able to do that. They knew how desperately there was a road needed, so they done it themselves. And now they're still using sections of that while they're rebuilding and cleaning up. Without that, where would these folks be? As you can see, as we're coming up through here, you can see the trees thin completely out. And this is where the winds of Helene came through and just devastated the forest. And you can see a mudslide on the left. And the trees are piled up like toothpicks through this area as hurricane force winds came up through here and just basically piled them up like toothpicks. And you can see that rock split right there on your left as we're coming up to it. The force of the water split that boulder in half almost and left it gapped open. Now as we're coming up through here, you're going to see the depths that the water had cut through the rock. You can see the width of the river now. Although a lot of these areas it's rechanneled, and they're having to decide which side they're going to utilize for the road as they're coming up doing the new construction. All of this is possibly could be temporary. Some of it could become permanent. It's all going to depend on once they get everything cleaned up, if they're going to put the road back where it was, or if they're going to use some of the new stretches that's been built to access the area. And a lot of it's going to have to do with how they can align the power and the communication lines as they're trying to rebuild this area. But we wanted to show you what this looked like now. Now, when I went down early into Bat Cave right after the hurricane, this whole area was basically inaccessible. This was where the mules and stuff came up through here to aid these folks, and you can see why. I appreciate you joining us today here on Deep River Farm as we're about to conclude our video. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day.